Well, despite a couple missteps, this episode was overall pretty good, especially considering what we've gotten on Mondays the past number of months, like almost the past year. I'm John Reckman with my review of WWE Raw. We are less than 3 weeks away from WrestleMania. That is, again, too big for one night. It's just a flesh wound. Wait, wrong kind of night. Wait, again, wrong kind of night, in all seriousness. Despite a couple feuds I don't care about, despite a couple segments on this show I didn't care for, this episode did have a lot more good than bad, which is a good thing because they got to really just throw a lot of shit at the wall and build towards WrestleMania because they did one too many pay-per-views. Fastlane was totally unnecessary, despite a few good moments, and despite me absolutely hating the Alexa, Fiend, and Orton stuff. You can check out my review of that if you'd like. But this episode actually wasn't that bad. We start with Lashley's intro being something special. I really hope they have Lashley retain, because they really have something here. He could retain till SummerSlam and just be like this almighty champion, even though I hear it as the almighty because I am a mature individual. He took on Sheamus, and the rest of the Hurt Business was at ringside. Sheamus was still beat up from Fastlane. Big men slapping into each other. Man, they really did a lot of man-meat slapping into each other. Clubbing and rest holds, and Lashley was talking to Cedric, and Shelton hit Sheamus while, he was on the outside of the ring. The referee's distracted. Oh no, what the hell is going on? Lashley looked a little bit disappointed. Like, what are you doing? Like, yes, we're together, we're a group, but I can beat Sheamus on my own, and this was referenced a little bit later. And Sheamus, I guess, was the face by default, and he comes back with, a couple nice, moves off the top rope, and actually got some good stuff. He got a nice pump knee strike, and then Cedric distracts just briefly, enough so the bro kick couldn't be hit. Spinebuster, and then Hurt Lock for the win. And then Cedric and Shelton attack, and then Drew comes here to save. Well, actually, he's not necessarily there to save Sheamus, even though he kind of is, and they'll reference that a little bit later. He was basically just there to fight off the goons and face off against Lashley, and basically threaten him. My arms are behind my back. Hit me, you bald son of a bitch. Do all this. Do it now. What are you doing? Anyway, no, he was doing that. He was just trying to fire him up, and MVP had to basically take Lashley away. And then recaps of the worst storyline in wrestling this year. You know which one I'm talking about. I know there are people that like the Alexa, Fiend, and Orton stuff. I don't. I've been consistent with it, and I'm not going to fault you guys if you guys like it, but I find it to be abhorrent. I find it to be bad television. I just don't care for it. So anyway, we get Peyton versus Asuka. Peyton looked at first annoyed, big speak to the manager energy when she was arriving to the ring, but in all seriousness, after Peyton did that promo on Raw Talk that I thought was nice and fired up, but I don't think necessarily was the grand, the landmark promo that everybody made it out to be. If you guys really liked it, that much, that's fine. But I thought it was nice to have her be, fired up and everything. Why didn't they feature her on Raw the next week? Give her a match and just say, give me Asuka, I want Asuka. Because Asuka was out for a little bit, and then she came back, and she beat up Shayna last week, and then she faced Peyton here. Peyton did some nice moves. Peyton can wrestle really goddamn well. Some people seem to forget that because Peyton really, and I'm not going to say Peyton's like a world beater. I'm not going to say she's fan-fucking-tastic in the ring, but she's able to show what she can do, and her and Asuka have good chemistry. I'm not saying it's like, best of 7 series chemistry. I'm not saying you could take this across multiple pay-per-views, but by God, you could have been using Peyton a little bit better than she has been, like not at all. But Asuka, clearly, they've got big plans for her, and Peyton and her had a nice match here. We get Stomp Off the Top by Royce for 2. We get some nice moves, just went a while, and then the Asuka Lock for the win. A nice, satisfying, clean, vicious scissoring for the win. And Asuka celebrating, and then this is my brutality. I'm not even going to try to do that because I'm going to throw my voice out. And Rhea is here. She mentions how Charlotte apparently has the virus. I'm choosing my words carefully there. Let me just say right now, I saw some people speculating, and this is just random people speculating, like on the WWE posts and stuff like that. Oh, Charlotte doesn't have that, it's just a storyline. I would like to think that, Charlotte would be at least, decent enough to not lie about having that. In all seriousness, if she has it, it's not just a smoke screen. That'd be pretty stupid to do. I hope she recovers, however long she's been in quarantine, however long she's had it. Whether I care for the character or not, I want Charlotte to be recovered. Her and Andrade to have a happy life. Andrade was granted his release from WWE yesterday. He should go to New Japan because we need La La Sombra. La La Sombra. Okay, that's enough of that. But in all seriousness, I hope that Charlotte recovers. I don't want her inserted into this Asuka versus Rhea match, even though I fear she will be. Watch her appear next week. But who the hell knows? Who the hell knows what's going to happen? As long as she has a healthy life, that's what matters. But Rhea is like, she challenges Asuka for a match at Mania. I'm going to need an answer. We have a match, and they do the sign pointing thing. Ooh, the sign. The sign. They're pointing to the sign. The sign's over there. The sign's over there. Might as well just have some fun with this because the whole sign pointing thing's goofy. It's like, It's like they're the monkey that lives in Chris's closet, and if you get it, you get it. So, I'm excited for this. Rhea, god damn, Rhea's beautiful, and Rhea is statuesque, and Rhea's talented, and her and Asuka could have a good match. I just wish there was a little bit more build, like maybe if they didn't have Fastlane, Rhea could have appeared right after Elimination Chamber, and they could have had, I don't know, like about a month and a half to build it instead of a few weeks. I think they're going to have to add a bunch of people together and just make it a six-pack challenge, honestly, and then maybe extend this Rhea-Asuka feud into, maybe Money in the Bank and stuff like that, but it is what it is. It's terrible they have to hotshot it because, they're trying with Mania, but again, it's too big for one night. And that's going to be a recurring joke here because why the hell not drive a joke into the goddamn ground from a movie that's almost 50 goddamn years old? So, I did like this though. I like Rhea. I like Asuka. I look forward to seeing what they can do. It's a shame the Raw women's division is not necessarily dire. I mean, there are some people that are good and there are some people that are Nia Jax. But they haven't really done anything to, juice up the women. And Peyton, she kind of seems like she's a one and done here. I mean, her against Rhea after Mania could actually be pretty good. I actually wouldn't mind seeing that. So then we have Drew and Pierce talking backstage. And Pierce says, hey, the Hurt Business challenged you to a handicap match, Cedric and Shelton, because Lashley's like, no, I had a match already. And Drew says, well, how about if I beat them? They're banned from ringside for Mania. Okay, fair. Kind of like the whole CM Punk Orton thing. And, the wrong guy won at Mania. Oh no. I jinxed it. Mania 27 was ass, by the way. Alright, Morrison's hair is back. What is with Morrison's hair? Why? Why is his hair like a chia pet? Is it out of control? What is his hair? Who in the world thought that hair was a good idea? I mean, sir, I said it so much last week. Who thought Morrison's hair was a good idea? I mean, I'm not even going to blame his wife. Who really thought that? And when Bad Bunny has better hair than you, and who am I to talk about somebody's hair? I haven't had hair in a while. When Bad Bunny has, better hair than you, that's saying something. But anyway, this is just ridiculous. They were hyping up the Bad Bunny, Damian Priest thing, and I do want to say up until this point, this show was actually pretty good. This segment did serve a purpose. They were trying to do a bit too much bullshit comedy. And Miz challenges Bad Bunny at Mania. There's going to be a one-on-one match. This is a bad idea. It should be a tag match. And also they're going to debut a song next week. Hey, hey, hop, hop, and music has died. It wasn't, the day the music died wasn't back in the 70s. It was now. Miz versus Jeff Hardy. How very, I don't know, 20 or 2009 of you? It wouldn't be 2011 because Jeff Hardy was doing something else in 2011. Victory Road Jeff Hardy, the one that makes everyone sad. Check out my retro review of that if you want. The match wasn't bad, but Jeff can't go. He can't go anymore. He just, bless him for trying. I'm sure he's getting paid a lot of money, but he can't go. Just, by the way, earlier said that Morrison should go, and then he goes, good, the hair was too distracting anyway, and then Skull Crushing finale 1, 2, 3. After a few minutes, but I also zoned out because it's a Jeff Hardy match in 2021, and I don't really care about The Miz anymore. Bad Bunny then slams his lengthy wood instrument into Miz's back, getting him hard from behind, and saying he accepts his challenge, bitch. Challenge, bitch. It's like the challenge, except, it's for bitches, I guess. So, Riddle then scoots by Styles and Omos. Cool. Whatever. Styles and Omos are in the ring, or almost famous. Edward James Olmos. And here's New Day. Styles doesn't know Omos very well. His favorite wrestler is Andre the Giant. I swear to God, I thought they were going to make Omos say Hulk Hogan. And Styles and Kofi are going to have a match because they're holding off on Omos having his debut match, at least on the main roster, until Mania. Because it went so well for Big E and Fandango when they did in 2013. So, Carmack's ad where the NWO has invaded Raw. Only about 21 years too late. Well, it happened in about 19 years ago, and it didn't work then. I'm going to inject the WWE with a lethal dose of poison. Kofi versus Styles in a match that was as good as you would expect. Seriously, it actually wasn't that bad. Even at the stage of their careers that these guys are at, this was good stuff. Almost kept scaring everybody. And then we got a distraction via trombone. Xavier's, the brass instrument, his big brass instrument, distracted AJ Styles, cursed the New Day community, and then SOS 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. And then no doubt Styles is going to face Xavier next week. He's going to beat Xavier. And then there's going to be the question what's going to happen at Mania, which again is too big for one night. So, that one Kevin Patrick guy, which is like the most Irish name that I've heard in my life, talking to Sheamus, we were tearing each other apart. I'm sorry to any Irish people that are watching. I don't mean any disrespect, but this is too much Irish for me on U.S. television. Even though BBC sometimes will have that, and it's really hilarious, though I need captions. Then Sheamus gets angry at Riddle and hits him in the stomach with a scooter handle. Have Sheamus win the U.S. title. That's a nice consolation prize. Not even Orion's belt. Wait, wrong consolation. Drew versus Shelton and Cedric. Man, I never thought I would see a thick Scottishman take it repeatedly from two African-American men in Tampa Bay on camera. Again, always delete your search history. Again, if Drew wins, they are banned from ringside. Good stuff. Drew tossed them around for a bit. Then they clipped his knee. They attacked him for a while. And then Drew hit a Claymore on Shelton and a Claymore on Cedric. 1, 2, 3. So there we go. MVP then yells at them backstage. Lashley gets upset. You can't do the job. I'm going to get somebody who can. And then he goes and talks to Tozawa, some guy I didn't recognize, Metalik, Dorado, and Gulak, the Job Squad, the 205 Job Squad. And that's nothing against the guys' talent, but that's how they've been presented. Hey, if you guys take out Drew before Mania, then you'll get a chance at the WWE Championship. Was nobody else available? Could you not gone and gotten, like, I don't know, Goldberg? Wait, don't bring Goldberg back to television. I'm actually shocked they didn't put him on the Mania card. But maybe they realized, oh yeah, that performance at the Rumble was kind of shit. So, yeah, then they recap the shopping spree because we need to be reminded that Nia Jax cannot act or wrestle or do anything useful on a wrestling program. And then Naomi and Lana are on commentary. Okay, Naomi was, and Lana certainly tried to say words. So, Nia's cramped gear, seriously, it must have been that time of the month for the gear maker and for Nia, and it was frightening. Very, very frightening. Flesh apron colored. I'm going to keep saying this shit because if I have to picture it, everybody else does. And Shayna, who is totally checked out by this point, versus Mandy and Dana. Reginald does flippy shit, and at one point they said Mandy and Dana have been getting better each and every week. Are you sure of that? It's nothing against Mandy, and Dana is trying her best, but Dana has hit her ceiling, which was about a foot off the ground. And Mandy has totally regressed. I don't think that they're going to do anything with Mandy in the next year at least. When I thought they were going to do something good with her and Sonya, but they didn't. So Samoan drop pins Dana. 1, 2, 3. Why was Reginald in the ring doing flippy shit and doing all this stuff? Not that the guy isn't a good athlete, but what? Why? Is that how little they care about the women? The answer is yes. Alexis to Randy. Be careful what you wish for. I wish for the storyline to be over. Shane, Elias, and the Jackson Rectionist. And I'm going to say that about Cracker Commander Riker, and if you don't like that, oh well, too bad. By the way, I'm sure he would hate that shirt because, yeah, they kind of do matter. Jackson Riker, you dumb son of a bitch. Anyway, they do a song about Braun being stupid. Who is this for? Why was this happening? And what is this feud? It's not good. Braun needs to go up about 5 shirt sizes. Proud Boy Braun took on Elias again because we needed that. And he won, and then they piped in train sound effects, by the way, before that. They piped in train sound effects for when he went around the ring doing his run thing. Whoever came up with the sound effects, whoever decided to get that sound effects board deserves to be fired. Dunn deserves to be fired. Fire Bruce Pritchard while you're at it. Just clean house and get some smart people that know something about wrestling in the goddamn company that aren't Vince McMahon ass kissers. So, anyway, Braun running around the ring. Braun wins, and then he won Shane in the worst way at Mania. Shane says, any kind of match you want because you are stupid. Is it going to be stupidity on a pole match? Because I'm not sure who's going to win or lose that one. Also, Hogan and Titus hosting WrestleMania sponsored by Snickers. Man, I'm sure Hogan's going to try to say that, and they're going to cut the mic off because they don't want him saying that or talking about, bringing his friend Monica to WrestleMania. If you get it, you get it, because Hogan would find a way to slip that shit by because Hogan is a goddamn idiot. So, Night 1 of WrestleMania will have Drew and Lashley, Sasha and Bianca, and Bad Bunny versus The Miz. Night 2 will have Edge and Reigns, Asuka and Rhea. Those are matches that are announced because WrestleMania, again, is too big for one night. And then we have Randy with a sack. And he says no more. There's going to be no more Fiend, no more Alexa. The bullshit comes to an end. If only that were true. Then we get Jack in the Box. And still, it's not quite as frightening as the music box from The Conjuring. But then we get Crispy Fiend, Ivan Ooze Fiend. And then Orton has more gas. He's on the gas. I think everybody's on some form of gas, or everybody's on nitrous, or everybody's on some form of drugs that think this is any good. RKO, Alexa distracts, and then the Fiend eventually just waits for his cue, takes about 18 years to get off the mat, hits the claw, and this is abhorrent. They point in the fire sign and everything, and that's really about it. I'm not going to crumple up my notes, shockingly. First time for everything on Raw. Seriously, I think I've crumpled up my notes for almost every Raw review for the past 5 months. Yeah, so not a great ending. I don't care about the Alexa Fiend Orton stuff, but if you do, great. There are still some feuds heading towards Mania that I don't care for, but quite a few that have potential. And they also need, on SmackDown, they need to build up Sasha and Bianca a lot better. They absolutely need to. So anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.